drink on, right? So we are going to have an amazing time. Thank you all for coming out. We are having this. Welcome to another amazing show of Chopshtick. I'm going to admit this. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Was not expecting to see this kind of a crowd. I had my small dick jokes ready, my disability appearance ready, and right now, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, well, you know, get ready for an epic night. Actually not. I mean, honestly, I hate that word epic, the way it's used, because it used to mean something. You know, and now people are like, you know, get ready for Michael Bay's epic summer hit, or dude, that game of beer pong was epic. It just pisses me off so much that I fantasize that if someone misuses the word epic one too many times, that the ghost of Homer will appear, slap them with a copy of the Odyssey and say, "No, idiot, that's epic." Well, yes, as dear darling Rob brought me up, my name is really Judy Vincent. I do belong here. I do happen to be Indian. People question me about this, you know? They say, so why don't you have a real Indian name? Like Singh or Patel or Bala Slumdog Millionaire. Well, easy answer. Both my parents are Indian. My grandmother was a white woman who adopted my father during the Second World War. So you can think of my childhood as the Indian equivalent of Different Strokes. And my grandma was Mr. Drummond. We grew up in Harlem, and truth for you people. Great crowd, lovely crowd. And our theme song was "Now the World Don't Move to the Beat of Just One Pull." That's an Indian drum. Oh man, so Friday night, yes. What was I going to talk about tonight? Again, totally threw me off because I was ready for a very non-laughy Asian crowd. People are beautiful. So where's everyone from tonight? Brooklyn! Where Brooklyn at? Atlanta. Welcome. First time in New York, Chicago, Windy City. You know, looking forward to going there and adding their, you know, wind to the city. Where's everyone else? Everyone else? New Yorkers, outside of New York, outside of the country? Florida, welcome, you know. Hope you can carry your bath salts with you. So, we are going to have a good time tonight. There's a bunch of great comedians. Everyone looks very, very well put together tonight. You look employed. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who? Payday. Nice. Just got paid. I just dated myself. But that's good. I've been off the grid for a little bit because I just recently found a job after being unemployed for some time. And what I decided to do during that time was take the opportunity to travel. So a couple years ago, the first trip I made, the first place I went was Israel. Not present day, obviously. And it was kind of last minute, and I didn't have time to get a bikini wax. So when I got there, the first thing I did was went to a local salon, asked for their regional special. They gave me the Gaza Strip. It took a little bit of time because there were two waxes. One was Israeli, one was Palestinian. They were arguing who would get the tip. And then the next place I went was Vietnam. I don't know if you guys have been to Vietnam, but for all that they've been through with us, they're surprisingly friendly. They give everyone a Vietnamese name. I didn't know you got, like, once I got there, because everywhere that I went from Ho Chi Minh City to Hanoi, they all called me the same name, Bai Something. And finally, went to the motherland, India. Thought I would have a little bit of culture shock because I hadn't been there in 10 years. But I have no problem with, you know, the cow dung chips on the wall of my grandfather's house, bathing with a bucket and a cup. What I found out, which shocked me, is that I'm plus-sized in India. Seriously! Well, you know, they don't come out and say it. They're just polite about it. They're like, oh, she's just a little bit healthy. Which, when you're shopping, is translated into, I think your daughter's a fat ass, but I really want to sell you this $500 outfit. It just blew my mind because, you know, I started, granted, with the job stress or lack of having a job, I started stress eating. Someone had given me a huge box of Godiva chocolates one day, and I ate it in one night. I read it as, go diva.
Yeah.
Words of encouragement. There was one snack I had no problem with staying away from. It was this Harry and David's treat called Moose Munch. You guys heard about that? Oh, it's excellent. It's so tasty. But what kept me from like indulging was that it sounded too much like a name that Alaskan lesbians would call one another. And I had to get back in shape because I wanted to start dating again. I've been out of the game for a bit, and the last guy I dated was 8 years younger than me. What's up, ladies? I don't like the idea. I don't think I'm a cougar. I prefer the term puma. And being with a younger guy is everything that you think is going to be. It's a snack for your nether parts, and yay. I knew it was over when he started referring to my lady parts as his junk drawer. And he said that my boobs should be nominated for a SAG award. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, but what's weird about it is that the moment you start to smack one of those younger guys down, about 7 pop up like dandelions or heads on a hydra, take your pick. I mean, I'm like wondering what happened to me. I'm like, suddenly did I wake up with a PS4 and a pint of beer in my pants? He was white. Because I had no luck dating Indian men. I guess I'm a little too sexually adventurous for them. I kind of go with the ethos that if there's a safe word, it's okay. If they want modest and virginal, I put the bang in Bangalore. And we've made progress as a society, Indian people. But in general, Indian people still tend to compare their women to bottles of Tylenol. Do not purchase if seal is broken or appears to have been tampered with. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out what was the root cause. I lost my virginity to a British man, and it ruined it for a lot of Indian guys after that. It was kind of like on the front of my pants, there was a sign like the one outside the Calcutta Club during the days of the British Raj, dogs and Indians not allowed. And I'll admit, I've dabbled, and I call it, putting masala on the challah. Because we got so many shared values. Food, family, education, and guilt. I met him on an Indian dating website, which was kind of funny. And he was, it was a matchmaking heaven, because I happen to be Indian and Catholic, so he got a 2-for-1 guild special. And you know what? It's pretty good in bed, ladies. I'd go for that MOT. But he was a little too confident about it, because after the first time we had sex, he jumped up and shouted, "Mazel cock!" I didn't know how to react. It was the only time I'd heard something close to that was at my friend's wedding. So I stomped on it and tried to break it. Kidding. I know, isn't that weird? I speak German. It's because I have a thing for blonde guys. So we are, Ruthish was talking about Indian moms. and their expectations of us. I turned 40 recently. I'm single, so I know I'm already a disappointment. So everything goes at this point. But the problem is now, my mom feels comfortable in sharing a little too much with me. I actually went through the exciting experience of having a mammogram, and my mom was so okay with it. She's like, Jude, it must have hurt because yours are kind of high. Mine, you just flop on the plate. And I'm like, oh God, please. Because I lived my whole life with the idea that I am an immaculate conception. I do not want to think about my parents in any sort of in flagrante delicto situation. When I was 22 years old, I woke up and I found my parents standing over the bathroom sink and my mother shaving my father's head down. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, my father said, well, I'm tired of paying $12 when they cut off a millimeter. Fiscally responsible. And my mother, in an attempt to lighten things up, she's like, he's my Yul Brynner. And I'm like, ew! Again, it really shoots the idea out of the water that I am an immaculate conception. So I will forever take that to the grave that I was delivered by a stork. And I just can't, I just don't want to hear my mother trying to relate to me in my certain medical situation. I actually was engaged several years ago, and he was Swedish, so people kind of looked at us like, when we were walking down the street, sort of like you look at a Great Dane and a Chihuahua, because they wonder, ow, how does that work, and what will those puppies look like? He was dumb as a brick, but I so wanted like normal-sized mocha latte babies. I think we're pretty open-minded people. The fact that Steven's father wanted to put him on Shopshtick.com really impresses me, because normally, I'm gonna be completely honest, as an I think that white guys, once they start dating East Asian women, if you switch over to Indian, you can't deal. Because our asses are bigger than yours. It really takes, a real backbone to date an Indian woman, because we are, whatever we are, as some total ideal partners, we got some drama about us. It's inevitable. But again, kudos to Steven's parents for appreciating the pedigrees. Is everyone doing okay? Okay, German guys? Wie geht's? Sehr gut. Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to Aryan types. Okay, so I'm going to bring up your next comic. Yet another colorful profile. Exclusively Asian show called Chopshtick. Stephen was talking about a slave name. My name is really Judy Vincent, and I sound like this. And as urban as I think I am, because I was born in Morningside Heights and raised in the Bronx, I had this moment where I was talking to a guy from this black fraternity called Omega Psi Phi. I met him at this barbecue, and I saw his rubber bracelet, which was like purple and yellow. I know these people. Again, Columbia is a huge black fraternity presence, and I'm like, oh my God, are you a Q-Dog? And I realized how much like Mindy Kaling I sounded. And actually, it reminded me of the time when he talks about being Jamaican. It reminded me of the time when I was in the ER for something, not the ER and, getting out of the hospital. And I had such a procedure that my discharge, and Jamaican nurses make everything more jolly. Don't they? No matter what, they can tell you you're dying and you're like, okay. Because the first interaction I had with the Jamaican nurse was when she was my discharge nurse, and I was getting out of the hospital after a week, and the discharge instructions were nothing in vagina for 1 month. And she looks at me straight up and said, and you know what that means, dear? I don't listen to her. next time I was in the ER because of corporate America, I'm blaming it on that. I had to go through all these crazy things. My parents were stressed out. I actually took the opportunity to tell my mother that the Marc Jacobs actually wasn't a knockoff. Ladies know what I mean. And suddenly my mother was dealing with the impact of the fact that I spent $1,200 on a bag. And then the Jamaican attending her, she's like, "Did you pee yet?" And we just were too shocked and laughed our asses off, and then she forgot about the price of the purse. So God bless Jamaican nurses. How you guys doing? We got a couple more comments going on. Awesome. I love it. You are amping me up. You're like my Energizer batteries.
Yeah.